Hello, my name is Dale Wilhite. I live in Mountain Village, Colorado. If you want to find out anything about me, go to MySpace where I have a page. This concept of mine, which actually this video is my 106th video, but the concept, I've pitched about maybe 50, 60 concepts on these 106 videos so far. It's called the American Crime Fighting Network, or cable television network. Basically, what my idea is if somebody out there has the money and the means, you know, to put on a cable television network that does nothing but fight crime in America. It reports on all kinds of crimes that are taking place daily and nightly in America. If it has local affiliates, these local affiliates will come on and say that there's been a robbery. Let's say there's a local affiliate in St. Cloud, Minnesota, or Meridian, Mississippi. That bank has just been robbed. Well, they'll come on there on that network, which really only applies to basically that area, and say that there's been a bank robbery. Here's the description of the bank robbery. Here's where they last seen going, and that would help possibly catch that bank robber. The same thing with kidnappings, murders, rapes, and things like that. That's the biggest problem. You really need local affiliates, but that would probably take some time to find. It'd be very difficult to do that at the beginning. So you would have to have a cable network like this that is just going to have to pick these things out randomly. Just decide, okay, if there's a certain crime in this part of the region today, a certain area, well, we're going to report on it. It's going to take a lot of analyzing, a lot of considerations, and so it's going to be rocky for probably the first couple of years. But this kind of network can alert the American people when crimes have taken place, or just taken place, or in progress, and it would help arrest or stop these criminals a lot more now than they are today. You see, it's one thing to have America's Most Wanted. It's one thing to have 911 or the old William Shatner 911. We need something today. We need something where these things come out immediately once these crimes are taking place or have just happened, or or whatever. And this kind of a network could do that. This network can report on kidnapped victims and possibly save them before they're murdered. But a lot of times, it's by the time that even the media gets to it, it's already too late. Especially these pedophiles that kidnap these young kids, and then within an hour or two after they're kidnapped, after they raped them and mutilated them, they're murdered. Well, maybe, just maybe, this network can stop that, can prevent some of this, and save some of these kids' lives, and catch these monsters before they can, fulfill their demonic agenda, or demonic desires, or whatever you want to call it. This would be a great crime-fighting tool when it comes to domestic violence, child abuse. This network can teach the American people all about crime fighting, about things to protect themselves. There's been things like that off and on through the last 20, 30 years on television. But we need something that's 24 hours. And this network can do things. If it were my network, I would be hiring a lot of ex-Navy SEALs as reporters to go into gang territory, film drug sales, prostitution, film it while it's happening, and go right into gang territory, identify on film who these gang members are, catch them in their crimes, put them in jail. That means they're going to be looking over their shoulder all the time, and it would start cutting into crime. This network, it's endless what it could do to make America a safer place. It can also be used, again, for doing documentaries and teaching people about domestic violence, the hell that women go through when it comes to domestic violence, just like that Playboy model down in Miami, who may have been burned to death, was murdered and probably burned to death by her ex-boyfriend. That's not proven yet. He's just a person of interest. But again, it goes to show you that domestic violence is not a joke. It is not just another little thing. It's a serious, very, very serious and demonically inspired crime. Look, I've had girlfriends before, and we didn't get along, but I don't beat up on them, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to get into any kind of violence. I've had some cheat on me. I had one get pregnant on me one time with some other guy. She married him. That was that. It doesn't mean I don't care, but I'm not going to engage in violence because it solves nothing. It accomplishes nothing. It's demonic in nature. And these guys and women who engage in domestic violence have a problem that they need to deal with. That's what these networks can do. They can maybe teach some people, show them the horror and the terror of domestic violence. I come from a world of child abuse. I've gone through the worst child abuse you can imagine. You wouldn't believe me if I told you right now what I went through with a lady that was not my real mother, but stepmother. Goes by a different name. I'm adopted, so it's not the people that adopted me certainly did not do any harm to me. That's why I would like to see child abuse, teaching the American people, educating them about child abuse and reporting on these crimes. Betta Sandstrom, I think is her name, from the Fox Network. She does a lot of things on crimes against women. Well, here's a way for women to fight back against crimes against women. This network would be very instrumental in it, because there's going to be a lot of women in the running it, reporters, reporting on it. They're going to be well involved in it, and they can now have an avenue to fight crime in which women are usually the victims, like rape, kidnappings, sexual assaults of any kind. That's what my idea here is, and I hope that you would pitch this idea online, and to the letter of the editor, talk to your congressman, email them, and ask them to see if they can find somebody, if there's someone out there, rather than some of the garbage that we have on television today that has absolutely no value. This is a network that has a lot of value and would. I wish I had the money to do it. I wouldn't hesitate to do it, because I know we can fight crime. But it has to be done in a constitutional manner. I am a firm believer in the American Constitution. I don't believe in violating people's constitutional rights. Some things I may advocate here might be unconstitutional. If it is, then it can't become a reality. It has to be done within the Constitution, and it has to be done honestly, ethically, and morally. No other way. So just because it doesn't exist today, just because there's really nowhere to turn to make it a reality, doesn't mean you can't help. You can help by just keeping the idea alive and pitching it to others, and try to find some way up the line, somebody up there that has the means to make it a reality, to consider making it a reality. It would really help fight crime in America, and we could save a lot of lives, and we can put a lot of bad people away for good. Thank you for your time.